It's time! Welcome to Vlogmas.
Welcome to Vlogmas 2025 on Jamie Chaotic, where every day from December 1st to the 24th, I will be decorating and decluttering one area of my home, because 'tis the season to decorate, shop, host parties with friends and family, and be otherwise drowning in the stress, mess, and chaos of the holiday season. I hope the videos of me getting my shit together can provide you with some decluttering motivation and a few moments of relaxation during these trying times. Thanks for watching. Now on to today's mess.
Well, here we are again. Once again, the season has changed and the winter has rolled around and it's time to declutter my entire house during the busiest time of the year when I have 14 million other things to do. It's fine. So let's talk about Vlogmas. I'm gonna come sit down for a minute, make myself comfortable. I should have gotten some hot cocoa or brewed a tea or something. There's a storm rolling in. I don't think you can tell, but it's a little dark in here, so bear with me with the bad lighting. If you were here last year for Vlogmas, I went around my house and I decluttered a lot of stuff that had been piling up for years. And I released a video every day in December, and the location I cleaned each day was determined by a fishbowl. I put all of the things that I needed to do on little slips of paper and put them in a fishbowl, and I drew one out each day. And it was really fun. It was also really a productive and just good way to do it because there was no overthinking. There was no getting distracted by other locations. It was like, okay, this is the one thing I'm going to do today. And I really liked it. And a lot of you really liked it. And I do want to do that again. However, thankfully, thank goodness, my house is not in the same condition as it was last year. It has remained pretty well decluttered. I'm going to walk you around and show you everything. And if you think that my house is still terrible, I mean, granted, fine, that's fine. But it's for my standards, I guess. Well, not even for my standards. Compared to where we were last year, I guess is what I'm talking about. If you've been here for a while, you know there was a whole rat fiasco and that forced us to move out for a few months this year. 2025 has been a roller coaster. We did a bunch of great things this year, but then a bunch of horrible stuff happened. And the apartment took the brunt of some of those bad things that happened. But thankfully, it was in a much more decluttered space, so it didn't get too out of hand. We're not going to talk about the garage, and we're not going to talk about my office. But I guess the general space, the public spaces, the spaces for entertaining at the holidays and stuff like that, like we're in a decent spot right now. Also, when the whole rat fiasco happened, I got rid of a lot of stuff, including our couch. So it's kind of almost empty. It feels empty in here to me. But I will walk you around and show you everything. And then we'll talk about what Vlogmas is going to be this year. I mean, this is episode 1 of Vlogmas right now. So it's starting with let's make the list or the fishbowl or whatever I'm gonna do. And if it sounds like I don't really know what I'm gonna do, even though this is episode 1, it's because I kind of don't know what I'm gonna do. By the time you see this, I will have figured it out. I do pre-film this. It's November right now. Shh, don't tell anybody, I'm cheating. But I have to because I have little kids, I work, my husband works, we've got Thanksgiving coming up, there's stuff going on. And I want to have all this done so that we have a nice, beautiful house decorated for Christmas and just ready to celebrate Christmas time with my kids. So that's why I pre-film it, and that's why I don't really know what I'm gonna do yet. And I'll explain why I don't really know what I'm gonna do when we're walking around. So I guess let's just start walking around so you don't have to just keep staring at my face. Let's do that. Okay, this is right when you walk in the front door. The stairs are clear, you guys. This hall tree is pretty well cleaned off. Of course, the kids are at school right now, so their backpacks are usually hanging there too. And then here's the living room. We're honestly not even going to go that way. That's my office. There's one little thing I have to do in there during Vlogmas, but for the most part, that's a whole after Christmas project, like usual. But here's the living room. This ain't so bad. I mean, I think the last video I just posted was me cleaning up this living room, and it doesn't take long to keep it looking like this. This is about as messy as it gets right here. This little area is kind of a drop zone for the kids, like homework. Blake's jacket, we have to return that to a neighbor. I mean, it's just a few little tiny things. Hi, everyone. Don't look in there yet. We'll get there. But in here, it stays really nice. So there's not really a lot to do in here as far as decluttering and Vlogmas goes. And I kind of just don't want to do the exact same places as last year and just do like a second pass on everything. In some places I do, but not everywhere. Okay, so let's ignore this stuff that's sitting out, the trees and the Christmas. Some Christmas stuff has started trickling in to the house because I'm actually selling these. I am a vintage reseller, if you didn't know that already. Hence all of this. So here's what I'm thinking. I want this to be like the main project of Vlogmas, and then I want to do some second pass decluttering on some of the places I already decluttered last year. The behind closed doors kind of decluttering, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking it's going to be a combination of cleaning out these two things because I'm getting rid of a lot of this stuff, meaning I'm going to be selling a lot of the vintage things that are in here. And then I've never liked having these two big cabinets right next to each other. I've always hated it. It's always bothered me. They're different sizes, different heights. I just feel like they don't look good together, and I've always disliked it. So what I want to do is I want to move these cabinets to here and actually add two more. So the whole wall across the back is these. This hutch is going to move right here. And that stuff, this is going to go in my office eventually. For now, I think it's just going to go right here, at least just for now. And then that, I think I have to sell that because I don't have anywhere to put it, which is sad because I do love that thing. But there's just not a lot of wall space unless we can find a way to keep it in here. So let's talk about this. This has gotten bad again. Just a couple weeks ago, this whole area was completely empty. But I will say this is Christmas stuff. This is all trash. This is Christmas stuff that we pulled out because I needed some things out of there to sell. And then in those two bins, we have stuff that came from Blake's grandma's house. Unfortunately, one of the roller coaster rides of this year is that Blake's grandma just passed away like a month ago. And Blake and I took a very high-speed, quick turnaround road trip out to Iowa to go to her funeral. And we started just scratching the surface of cleaning out her house. And we brought back 2 bins of photo albums for me to scan. I'm going to scan and archive all of her photos. And then another box of little salt and pepper shaker trinkets that she knew, I'm gonna cry. She knew that I liked and that everybody agreed I could have them. So not gonna cry. Hold on, turning it around. So that's what's in there. And the photo albums can go into my office because I need to scan them all. The salt and pepper shakers are going to go into my hutch, the brown hutch that was in the dining room that I was talking about. Hence why I need to clean those things out, because there's a lot of stuff in that hutch that I don't need to keep and I don't care about, and I want to make room for the stuff that I do care about. So that's one of the big reasons why it's not going to just be decluttering this year. And I know that that is still decluttering by like cleaning out the hutches and stuff, but I also want to move the furniture around and maybe even paint a wall or two. We'll see how ambitious I get once we really start getting going in here. But anyway, and then all this stuff on the top is just stuff that needs to get put away. This is another one of her photo albums. This is Halloween stuff and something that needs to go out into the garage. This room is Blake's. Sorry, there's some laundry happening here. I kind of don't care that much about this room. I think he just kind of needs to tidy it up a little bit. It's not looking too bad, although his records are starting to get out of control. I'm sorry it's so dark in here. Like I said, it's about to rain, so this back corner is pretty bad, but this is Blake, this is Blake's stuff. I definitely need to make room for these blankets. These blankets are the kids' extra bedding, and it's just been floating around in here. I washed it and then didn't have anywhere to put it, so it's just been hanging out in here. Yeah, I don't know what to say about all this. This is Blake, so what am I There's nothing I can really do about that. But yeah, okay. I'm going to keep in mind that I need to make room in the linen closet. So that's definitely something that we need to declutter. This is all just laundry. I think this needs a declutter. If I do what I'm thinking I'm going to do in the other room with the white cabinets, I think all of this stuff, this is our like space collection. This is all space kind of mid-century space stuff. I think all that is going to go in those cabinets. And then the camera collection, which is just along with Blake's knife, like he just sort of piles stuff up on here. So I had like a nice display of cameras, but then he always just wants this as like flat surface to clutter up. So I'm thinking if the camera collection gets up on these shelves and there's just nothing on the top of these, then he can just stack his CDs and whatever he needs to stack, and he can just have those surfaces. And they won't be decorated, you know? Like, look, his menorah has been out since last year. He never even put it away. So yeah. And then he's got his alcohol here too, which might find a different place. But I feel like this could be a fishbowl ticket, like doing all of this, right? And like the linen closet so that I have a place to put those. Do you guys remember the saga, the agony that this put me through last year? It looks really bad again, but part of the reason it looks so bad is because I pulled out my Christmas mugs and I didn't put my regular mugs away. It's actually not too bad in here. It's not going to be as bad as it was last year when I was like broken and wanted to cry. Also, the idea of getting more cabinets in the other room is I will have a little bit more hidden cabinet space, and I'm thinking it's going to be kitchen overflow stuff because during the rat fiasco, the rats were in our kitchen. If you're not familiar with that whole saga, they chewed up the inside of our dishwasher, like the mechanism of the dishwasher, and so it flooded and it rotted out these cabinets, and they did some repairs. They painted on the inside, which has made them much more pleasant. But still, for the most part, these cabinets are violently disgusting to me. I hate them very much. And if I can keep as little as possible in these lower cabinets, especially, the upper cabinets are not as bad. Rats didn't get into the upper cabinets, and they didn't really get into everywhere. They didn't get into the pantry. They didn't get into these drawers, as far as I know. We saw no evidence of it anyway, but they were mostly like all in here. Right underneath the oven. They were in this one and this whole thing. And these cabinets right here are really small and hard to get anything out of. And I also, there's like some silverfish in there that I can see. Gross. So we just keep pots and pans in there, but it's hard to even fit most pots and pans in there. So this is definitely a declutter that I want to do. And then once I have more of these white bookshelves over here, I'll have more of this hidden cabinet space. It'll be kind of just like an extension of the kitchen for the blender and maybe, a big, like, look, these pans, these are all clean, but we just leave them on the stove because we have nowhere really to put them away. Like the big woks and stuff, they don't fit in here. So if I can declutter this, really get down to like the bare minimum as far as pots and pans and things, I can either put them in here, which is where I think I want them to go, like the bigger pots and pans. Right now we have like back stock of food up there, and then maybe even some in the pantry, depending on, this has to be decluttered for sure. And then a lot of the stuff, like I'm even thinking the back stock of food can go into those because it'll be right here, The only thing holding me back is this is a really big project. And realistically, I want to do it in about 2 weeks. Like this whole Vlogmas thing. So I don't know. We'll see how it evolves as time goes on. I think I'm going to make like a smaller bowl of decluttering places, like the kitchen cabinets, the pantry, the linen closet, so that I can put the bedding away, that shelf over there in Blake's lounge. I think I'm going to do some of those as like a fishbowl poll. And then some of the videos are just going to be me rearranging furniture and maybe painting a wall and that kind of stuff. I don't really know how it's going to all flow together, but for now, That's as good as I can. This is as good as I can guess. We'll see how it evolves as Vlogmas goes on. Obviously, the kitchen counters need some attention too, but just looking at it, this is just some food that people didn't put away. Me with my coffee cup, some clean dishes that didn't get put away. Is actually, looking at it, it's not that bad. It's just messy right now, but all of this stuff has a place to go. Last year, it was like, I have no idea where I'm gonna put anything because I don't know where any of this stuff goes. At least now I have homes for this stuff. This was left over from when Blake had an event at school, at his work. Again, just some more food sitting out. These need a home, this stuff. And again, I think that white cabinet is gonna be the solution. Maybe even up in here, I when we moved back in, I redid my spice cabinet. This is working out really nice. There's all my spices right there. And then those are all rubs and seasonings that Blake uses since I can't really hardly reach it. And then I put all of his cups that he uses up there because I really can't reach that. I can't reach that at all. So I'm putting everything Blake uses exclusively up high. I don't know. That's not even that bad. Those are casseroles. This is how I've always had this one. And it actually functions really well. It kind of looks messy, but it's a lot of stuff we don't use a lot. Blake, I think, shoved some iron skillets up there. Now the door doesn't close. That's a Chia Pet and some filters up there. And then that's just some Tupperware and some little bowls. Like that one's actually okay too. So, and then there's not a ton to do. I really got rid of a lot when we had the whole rat fiasco. I moved our silverware over here. I got one of these expandable things. And then this is actually looking a lot better than it used to. We just keep towels in here, which is usually nicely folded, but Blake put them away last time. And then this, there's far too much in here. That can definitely, I think a lot can go away, but also that's kind of Blake's world. I don't like having anything on top of the microwave. I don't like having anything out. I want everything put away. So I think that could be some stuff. I know I'm saying a lot of stuff is gonna go in those cabinets, but they hold a lot. Let me show you. In the bottom parts here, a lot of this is gonna go. So just keep that in mind. Oh, don't look at the nudie ladies. But there's 3 shelves in here and it holds a ton. It really holds a ton of stuff. So if I clean these out and I'm not keeping much, which I'm just kind of glancing, I will keep like the Christmas dishes in here and some of the Pyrex that I'm going to keep and not have on display. But also if I double this over here, I can fit 4 of these. Like this is 1, this is 2. I'll be able to fit 4 of them. So that's a ton more space and more display space. So not as much even needs to be in here. So I'm hoping I can fit all of the kitchen backstock. And this is also kitchen backstock that this was all stuff minus the lunch boxes. This was all stuff that was under the oven in the drawer and we had to take it all out and clean it, obviously. And then I just didn't feel comfortable putting it back under the drawer. I don't want anything in the drawer because not saying we're going to get rats again, but I just don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable putting anything down there. Like I'm traumatized, you guys. I'm traumatized by the whole incident. So I want to find new homes for all this stuff in cupboards that rats don't go into. And then I think the games would be able to fit in the cabinet here. And then we can move this cart away. I'll move that plant stand somewhere else. I think it's gonna be nice. I'll have to figure out what to do with this. Maybe we give this one more try. I mean, literally have not touched it since I decluttered it last year. It's folded and everything exactly the same. So I guess I'm just using this as storage. See, look, that cupboard in there is like almost completely empty still. I'm gonna have to just think about this. I don't know that that's candles. This can get almost entirely emptied out, to be honest. We're not doing parties like that anymore. Yeah, and those are just candles too. I just like this piece of furniture. I think I might keep different things in it. I might move the stuff that's in it somewhere else and keep something different in it. We're gonna have to figure that out later. For now, I'm gonna have to just clear all this off completely. Oh, the kids, yeah, this needs to be dealt with. Oh, this is gonna be a pain, but my kids have outgrown all of this stuff. Other than the Legos. There's Legos right here. Other than the Legos, I guess that's Legos and stuff too. I don't think they have played with any of this stuff, and definitely none of that stuff in those 2 totes since before Christmas last year. Easily. For sure, the stuff in those totes, we packed up. There were bins down here, like canvas bins filled with toys. We put them all in those totes during the rat thing, and when we moved out. They're still zip tied. They haven't wanted anything out of those since the end of summer, or since before summer. So I'm sure all of that stuff can go. This is play sand and Play-Doh. They just don't play with that anymore. These are the big Duplo Legos, like the big, like little kid ones. They don't play with those anymore. They realistically don't sit and build Lego sets that often either, but out of all the toy stuff, they do sometimes still do that. So, and then those are just all puzzles and science kits and things, which also they don't do, but those puzzles are mine. So some of that, I think we could actually like practically empty out this cupboard. And I actually want to use this shelf in my office. I have a use for that elsewhere. And I don't want this in here. Actually, what I would really like to use in here, if there's no kid stuff in it at all, I would love to put the cat litter boxes in here because we really don't have a good place for them. And I could get like one of those cabinets that you put them in. And then this could just be like the hidden little cat litter zone. Maybe I could put my exercise stuff in there too. Like if there's a cabinet that I could like put stuff on. I'm thinking all of the kid toys we want to keep can go into the white cabinet over there. But I know that I'm also saying that about a lot of stuff. So we'll just have to see how it goes. We'll have to see how much room I actually make. Ooh, this can get a second pass. Our shoe and coat closet. Yeah, because some of that stuff that's like travel games and stuff, and there's like poker chips and stuff up there, that could go into the white cabinet. So see how I keep saying stuff needs to go into the white cabinet? That's why I feel like I need to do the clearing out of those cabinets first and move the furniture around and get the furniture all situated, and then do some decluttering because a lot of that stuff might end up in there. So I feel like there has to be I can't just fishbowl all of this. There has to be like a specific order to things this year. I think that's what we have to do. I'm like talking myself into it as we're talking. So here's the linen cupboards. Down here is a bunch of reselling stuff. Ideally, I want that not to be there anymore. I want this to be linens and wrapping paper, gift bags, and like the cards. These 2 I want to be just completely emptied out. It's a big job. And then up here is the linens, like the actual blankets and things. There are some things I know I can get rid of. We got a new bed since last year. So some of this bedding, there is some kid bedding in here already. Some of this bedding can go. I might try the vacuum seal bags for some of those collectible family heirloom blankets up there. But in my experience, the vacuum seal bags always reinflate. Like maybe I am just really bad at it, or I'm buying bad bags or something, but that would save up a lot of room up there. Anyway, I just want to get the kids bedding in here. We don't have a ton of extra bedding, but I just have like one set for each bed, one extra set. And then towels. It'd be nice if towels could all just go down here too. So there's plenty of space if I get rid of my reselling stuff out of there. So I think that is I think there's a chance we can do that. I will just show the office for a minute. All of these bins are the product of us moving out and moving back in. And this is my reselling stuff. I mean, it's kind of fine the way that it is in these bins. Don't mind all this. This is because I have been busy and working a lot, okay? So I don't need this open anymore. When it's like this, it just means that I've been very productive. And I've been selling a lot of things. So just mind your business. But anyway, these bins will stay here. However, behind those bins, those are the bookcases that I need to move out there. See, I have 2 Those white cabinets are from IKEA. They're Billy bookcases with doors on them. So these are 2 more of the Billy bookcases. They have extenders on top too, so it's going to be even taller than the ones out there. So I'm going to have another whole shelf up there too, actually. I didn't even really think of that. But yeah, there'll be another whole shelf on those ones because I'm going to buy the extenders for those too. So I need to empty those out. All of that's in there is books that I'm selling. So I'm going to just put them all into bins for now and take the Billy bookcases and put them over there. There's also a chance that I just buy some more Billy bookcases. But I really don't want to do that. I really think, because I'm not doing this book selling thing anymore, I need to just take them down. I really liked it for a while. It was really nice. I was doing live sales sitting in front of these bookcases and just my business has evolved and I just don't really want this in here anymore. So as easier as it would be to just buy some more bookcases, I think I will force myself to get those out and move them. And then that closet is, it's kind of organized. It's not that messy. It's just got a little too much stuff on the floor. But again, this is going to be, look at my tower of bubble wrap up there. This is going to be this is just another whole time. Hi, Max. Max. Hi. Love you. He's a little mad at me right now because I put flea medication on him. So he's a little pissed off. So yeah, that's all we're going to say about that room. And we're not going to do anything to this bathroom other than I'll make Blake clean it before people come over for the holidays. All right, let's go upstairs. I shouldn't film while I'm walking up the stairs because I could fall at any moment. Okay, starting right here with this bin, that is towels and extra bedding for the kids that I don't have anywhere to put. So that's one of the reasons why it's all clean. It's just one of the reasons why we need to clean out that linen closet. And I need to actually put the linens in the linen closet. Go figure. What a concept, right? The kids' bedroom is still in a state of disarray, meaning they don't have a dresser yet. That is filled, I believe, with linens also. And not completely filled, but there are some linens in it. That's all that's in there. That's clean stuff that needs to get put away. I moved their musical instruments into their bedroom, the drums and the keyboard. They didn't make their beds today. They haven't cleaned their room, but it's not that bad. There's not that much to do in here. And I don't think, other than getting them a dresser, see, I got this thing and it lasted about not even 1 day before they got in it and then broke it. It's just canvas anyway, but there was hard cardboard in there to keep its shape. Well, they bent the crap out of it. So it's holding their clean clothes for now instead of a dresser. It was a temporary solution once we moved back in because we got rid of their dresser. We did not get rid of their dresser because of rats. Rats never got into this room. It just so happened that we got rid of their dresser because they had a small little dresser that wasn't suiting them well anyway. And I'm using it downstairs. It's the one that has their Nintendo and stuff on it. So I had done that anyway because the thing that was down there may or may not have gotten touched by rats. And so I just threw it out. And so I just moved some stuff around and I just never got them a new dresser. And I mean, we had moved out anyway, so it kind of didn't matter. They don't hate these bins, but I hate them. I need a place to put their laundry away more properly. Their closet's not too bad. I have all of their plushies down here. That definitely needs to get sorted, but Brody needs to do that. That's not really something I need to do. I mean, I'll do the toys with them downstairs in that closet, but I'm kind of not concerned too much about their bedroom. Okay. This is a new predicament. The rats ate the stair carpet and they ate the stairs, if you were here for that. So all of this carpet right here on the landing and the stairs is new. They wouldn't spring for new carpet in the bedrooms, so the disgusting old stuff is still there too, but we had completely emptied out this landing, and this desk was in their bedroom, the boys' bedroom, and I had just piled up their clothes on it. But I decided to move it out here because it seems like it could be a really good spot for them to do their homework. I have been piling stuff on here. This is all the school stuff that had been trickling all throughout the rest of the house, and I've just been piling it up right here. So this definitely can be a ticket. This has not gotten organized or nice since I put the table here. I just put the table here and just started piling stuff. So it would be really nice for them to finally have their desk set up. They've just been doing homework at the kitchen table, which is fine, but It'd be nice for them to have their own dedicated space, and if it gets a little messy every now and then, it's all the way up here and it's not messing up the downstairs. I'm losing my voice. Also, in the midst of all of this, I've been sick for like the last month. I'm hoping that I got it out of my system. I got it over with early, and I won't be sick during Vlogmas this year, because last year I was sick for most of it and it was kind of miserable. But my voice is still not doing great. So if I am hoarse for a lot of it, I'm sorry. But it was a lingering cough that lasted like a month, and my voice just got destroyed from it. So anyway, opposite from the desk are these cupboards, which definitely need a once over. They're not too bad, but again, it's like a lot of this stuff hasn't been touched since I decluttered it last year. And then that needs some WD-40. The medicines, this is like the area that we do access all the time. That obviously has gotten completely out of hand, but it won't take very long to fix it. That's not a really big deal. This second shelf and the top, it's like almost empty at the top. Second shelf just needs a little refresh. This is just cleaning supplies. That's kind of fine. I'll just ask Blake what's going on here because that's his bin. And then this is like supposed to have extra garbage bags and paper towels, but it's gotten a little crazy. But let's do this as a ticket. Maybe top and bottom 2 different days. I try not to do too much on each day. God, WD-40. I try not to do too much. Oh, see, that won't even shut. On each day. So maybe like one day and another day. I don't think I want to do anything in here. We hardly use this. There's just like toothbrushes and stuff in it. I need to take the trash out. There's not enough. There's not enough to even do in that. And I don't want to because I hate that cabinet. And then my room, there's Penny Pie. My room has stayed pretty nice other than this. But honestly, this just happened in like the last couple days. I clean it off regularly and then just repile stuff on it. This is just like laundry that needs to get put away. Some mismatched socks. The kids have placed some drawings on here that needs to go downstairs. This one is almost good, except for this stuff needs to go into my cedar chest, and this needs to go downstairs. I might end up using this a little bit during Vlogmas too. You know, there's just a few things out of place, but it ain't too bad. Hi, Penny. It's really not too bad. If you notice from last year, I don't know, did I do this during Vlogmas? There's some room in my book cabinet. These are the books I'm trying to read before the end of the year. I've been reading so much this year, you guys. These are books that I got new this year that I haven't read yet. And then these are all the books that I have read thus far that I'm going to be getting rid of. But I think I'm going to do a like booktube video in the beginning of next year. I kind of want to branch out with my videos and do some extra stuff. And since I read so much this year, I think I want to talk about reading and books and do a little mini book review episode. So, but that has to be after Vlogmas. That's next year. But those books will be gone. I'm not going to keep the books that I've read. I've firmly committed to reading the books that I have. Yeah, I'm still acquiring books. I didn't completely stop buying new books, but read more than I bring in and then get rid of them once I've read them. Blake's thing, I just don't care to help him with that, but let's do the clothes. Let's do the clothes. This has gotten kind of crowded. I have bought some new clothes, mostly like exercise clothes, like tank tops. You can't even see in there. It's so dark. I guess I could turn the light on. Hey. But yeah, you know, it's been a whole year. It's actually been more than a year since I cleaned out my closet, and I don't wear most of this. The vast majority of this I don't wear. So, and even t-shirts. I can get rid of a lot of t-shirts and a lot of these tank tops because I'm just kind of over the delusion that I have anywhere to go. I have nowhere to go. I need like one nice outfit for the one time I go anywhere all year. These are just my nicer dresses and fancy clothes if I'm like going to a wedding or something. And then obviously Blake has to handle this. But I think it's time to do the clothes. This is Blake's laundry, by the way. This is just all Blake right now. Let's see. A lot of my clothes are in the laundry right now, but the drawers are getting a little disheveled. I also bought some new pajamas. Yeah, this one's getting real tight. I bought some like shorty pajamas. It's just time to go through it. It's time to sort through my drawers again. So we'll do a clothing round. That will be good. What else? That's good. I don't think there's anything else. So let's sit down now and write it out. Let's make the actual list. Let's make the official list for the next 23 days of Vlogmas. I can't do this on the stairs. Okay. Hopefully you can see this well enough. I am going to make a list. I think I'm going to break it up into 12 decluttering fishbowl kind of locations and 12, or no, because this is number 1. 11, well, we'll see how many episodes, I guess, of rearranging the furniture and stuff. I'm going to try to like break it into half. So let's try, well, let me think first. How many different ways can I do this? Let's first write down what needs to happen in order for me to move this furniture around. I need to empty the credenza and the shadow box. I need to empty my china cabinet, my china hutch. I need to empty the Billy bookcases in the dining room. I need to empty the bookcases in my office. That one's gonna be a task. I'll need to take a trip to IKEA. That can be an episode. I'm gonna need to actually move all the furniture. Blake will have to help with that. And then I will have to load back up the Billy bookcases and load back up my hutch. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's only 8 episodes. This intro video is number 1. Okay, I'm gonna think on that for a second, and now let's start making our decluttering zones. Linen closet. I could do top and bottom. Those could be 2 different episodes if I need them to be. The entry closet, the games, the toy closet, downstairs the coffee bar, the pantry. I'm gonna say the rest of the kitchen cabinets and the space stuff in Blake's room. Okay, and then let's see, upstairs we have the kids' desk, the medicine cupboard, top and bottom, my clothes. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, maybe the linen closet can just be 1 episode, or this one, or the games and the toy closet. Those could all just be 1 episode if I'm trying to cut it down to 12. Okay, over here I want to add to pull out Christmas and declutter my Christmas bins, and then also decorate for Xmas, because I don't want to wait until the end of me filming all this to decorate for Christmas. I want to actually get it out before I do the decluttering, because almost all of the decluttering zones have nothing to do with the Christmas decorations. Once I move the cabinets around, that's where all my Christmas stuff goes for the most part, other than the tree. So I want to take time and we can do a little fun Christmas decorating video. So that way I'm not decorating for Christmas on Christmas Eve. Kind of like what happened last year. I want to actually get Christmas out before Christmas is over. Yeah, I think we're good. I think I can stretch all this into enough videos. So hopefully this first intro video hasn't been absolutely mind-numbingly boring. I promise all the rest are going to be a little bit more fun because we're actually going to start digging into stuff. So I guess that's a good place to stop right now. I'm not going to make my fishbowl yet because we're going to be doing all the furniture rearranging and stuff first. Oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? I might regret all of this, but thank you guys for being here and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye everyone. Welcome to Vlogmas. Welcome to Vlogmas. Oh, jeez. Welcome to Vlogmas. Welcome to Vlogmas. It's time.